Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 outrageous things you'll only see in Dubai. So, Dubai is known for expensive cars, expensive animals, and expensive houses. But it turns out these aren't the only insane things you'll find in Dubai. From the fanciest Starbucks on earth to a car being given a helicopter ride. But before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming in at number 10 is super cop cars. So, we're all used to seeing cop cars in the USA and other countries. They look pretty basic and are usually white with flashing lights. They're often a saloon car or in some cases an SUV. But in Dubai they do things a little bit differently. We all know that Dubai residents have very fancy supercars. So to catch up with all these criminal supercars, you need cops in supercars too. That is why the cops have a fleet of Lamborghinis in Dubai. If you love cars, the number one job to be in Dubai is a cop. That's because you get to race around the highways all day catching people in Lamborghinis. Yeah, good luck trying to win a cop car chase in Dubai. Just think about how easily O.J. Simpson would have been stopped if he was in Dubai. These cars are very fancy and they often use Lamborghini Aventadors. In the US you might see Nicki Minaj in one of these cars. But in Dubai these are standard for every car. They come with a Dubai police logo and also police lights. Dubai laws are also very strict. So with these police cars and strict laws, you better be careful in Dubai. It must be a real downgrade when these cops go home and have to drive around the cars they actually own. Next up is weird vehicles. So we all know that everyone has supercars in Dubai, even the cops. But supercars aren't the only cars you'll see on the Dubai roads. Along with all the supercars, you get some pretty weird cars. Take this four-wheeled pickup truck for example. That car looks like it's just run over another car without realizing. And if you want something wide, how about this Jeep which has been merged together with another Jeep? Not only that, you'll see some cars straight out of a sci-fi movie in Dubai. And even some prototype ridiculously futuristic cars. But of course, they're not all nice. Take this very low car with way too many doors. Or how about this solid gold truck which looks straight out of a rap video? Next up is millionaire cell phones. When you think of an expensive phone in most countries, you'd think of the iPhone. I mean, $1,000 for a phone is pretty steep, right? Well, that is pennies to people in Dubai. That's right, there's a popular phone in Dubai which is way more expensive and fancy than an iPhone. That phone is called the Virtue phone. These cost around $88,000. They're plated with 18-karat gold and are tiled by Swarovski diamonds. The phone doesn't look very modern and doesn't even have a touchscreen, but I guess you're more paying for the design and the name. I mean, how many people can say their phone costs more than most houses? They do actually offer a cheaper version for $9,000, but that's just plain embarrassing, right? Now these phones may not have all the apps that iPhones do, but you can play chess on it, so I guess that's good enough. Next up is cars by air. So in Dubai there's a lot of fancy cars, but some of these cars are custom made and they don't make them in Dubai. So how are they getting these things into the country? While most cars would take ages to arrive by boat, Dubai does it in a different way. I have to say this looks like one very smart solution to a traffic jam. But that's right, sometimes cars are airlifted by helicopters. This car looks like it could easily roll off her and fall onto some guy. But you will see these cars in the sky from time to time in Dubai. I know in the past people said we would have flying cars, but I don't think they meant like this. Next up is grooms wanted. So one strange thing about Dubai culture to us is arranged marriages. In the US you might take out a newspaper ad for a blind date, but in Dubai there are ad sections called grooms wanted. These are fathers who want to arrange a marriage with their daughter. As you can see, the fathers describe their daughters. These daughters are then married to grooms who apply. But sorry guys, unless you're very rich and have a great job, you won't have a chance at marrying these women. Now this may seem a little old-timey and even wrong to some people, but Dubai is moving more and more into the future, for example allowing women to drive. Let's just hope they stop doing arranged marriages soon too. Next up is swag bucks. So in the USA and Europe, there are Starbucks everywhere. Sometimes there are multiple Starbucks locations on the same street. They tend to just blend in with whatever buildings are around. And that is also kind of the case in Dubai. However, Dubai has a lot of very fancy buildings. So it only makes sense that their Starbucks are very fancy too. Just check out this very snazzy Starbucks in Dubai. It looks like a 5-star hotel, but the only 5-star thing about this is the expensive Starbucks prices. This is actually just a regular Starbucks outlet in Dubai. And in case you're wondering what an actual fancy coffee shop looks like in Dubai, here you go. Next up is poor food. So to people on the outside, Dubai may seem like a country just for the rich. But believe it or not, there's a huge amount of poor people in Dubai as well. These are usually construction workers who are immigrants to the country. But Dubai has some pretty nice things for these poor people. For example, this vending machine of free food. On it, it says only for those who have no money to buy food or are unemployed. As you can see, it says please take one piece of food per person. They have things like rice, soup, ice cream, and bottled water. That's pretty much all I eat at home, so I guess I should move to Dubai. But really, this is a nice idea and it would be good if they had these in more countries. I'm not sure how common these are in Dubai, but the fact they exist exist is a good thing. Next up is abandoned supercars. So in most countries, people would take care of their supercars. They'd clean them the whole time, store them in garages, and get them insured. But in Dubai, they really don't care. In fact, many people simply abandon their supercars out on the roads. They leave them to get all dusty and old after driving them just one time. This is also the case outside airports, but for a different reason. You see, in Dubai, it's illegal to be in debt. That is why some people have to quickly leave the country, so they simply leave all their expensive belongings behind. Now, you may be wondering what happens to these cars. Some are auctioned off by the state, but some are actually destroyed. That's right, I'm sure many car fanatics out there are crying at the thought of a Lamborghini being destroyed. Next up is supercar traffic jams. So nobody likes a traffic jam. But if you're interested in cars, a traffic jam in Dubai may not be too bad. That is because sometimes there are traffic jams of supercars. There are so many supercars in Dubai, sometimes they get into traffic jams. It seems crazy there'd be this many rich people out at the same time. But this can sometimes happen on the weekends when people go out for Sunday drives. You know, I've seen a site similar to this, except replace all the Lamborghinis with Nissans and replace all the Ferraris with Fords. Next up is camel parking. So we've already seen in Dubai there's a lot of nice cars. But nice cars aren't the only things people get around in Dubai. Some people actually get around by camel. And of course, when they go and run their errands, they need to park up. That is why some places in Dubai really have camel parking spaces. It's pretty amazing camels are willing to just sit there parked up like a car. But I guess cars don't fare too well in the desert. Well, at least not all cars. Next up is expensive pets in expensive vehicles. So you're probably getting pretty tired of all the supercars in Dubai. Some people drive around with very expensive pets in their expensive cars. Take this guy texting and driving with a leopard in his car. Or this very strange cat hanging out of a window. One guy even took his lion on a speedboat. That looks like a disaster waiting to happen. And instead of buying car insurance to protect your car from thieves, some people simply use a lion. On the highway, one guy was very surprised to see a lion in the back of a Jeep. And some people simply cut out the middleman and just take a ride on their lions. Just be careful not to cut this off on the road. You do not want to see a lion in road rage. Next up is gold ATMs. So when you go to the ATM, what do you take out? $10, $20? Well, in Dubai, you put money into ATMs. But what do you get from that? Well, the answer is gold. That's right, there's something called gold to go ATMs in Dubai. This is where you pay money for gold bars. Now, I'm not sure why you'd be in such a rush to get a gold bar, but in Dubai, you can get one anytime. And it's even toll-free. Although if you're paying for gold bars, I'm not sure you'd mind paying a toll. It seems like just when you thought Dubai was outrageous, they get even more outrageous. Next up is tallest buildings. So we all know that Dubai is home to the tallest building on earth, the Burj Khalifa. It was built by the Prince of Dubai simply to be the tallest building in the world. It's absolutely ridiculous and makes the Empire State look like a pin. It's around 170 levels tall and reaches over 800 meters into the Dubai sky. Over 12,000 workers from over 100 countries had to build this thing. And the elevators in this thing travel at speeds of 10 meters per second. It cost $1.5 billion to build and took 1,325 days. But here's the question, would you bungee jump off this thing for $1 million? Let me know in the comments if you would or if you wouldn't. And check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the most outrageous thing in Dubai. I think it's gotta be the gold bar machine, as I'm not sure why anyone would need that. Be sure to check out my second channel too. There's some awesome videos on there and there'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.